Hello, my name is Ann Steineman. I'm a professor of civil engineering and the chair of sustainable cities at the University of Melbourne in Australia. I'm also an adjunct professor of science and engineering at James Cook University in Townsville, Australia. And that's where I am right now, in Townsville, one of the healthiest places in the world. Wonderful clean air. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. It's my passion. What gets me up in the morning enthusiastically wanting to work? What keeps me up at night enthusiastically working is this whole issue of healthy housing. Let me give you a little motivation. Most people may not be aware that most of our exposure to pollutants that affect health and productivity occurs in places that we think are safe. Our indoor environments, such as our homes, our schools, our healthcare facilities, and our workplaces. Also, what most people may not know is that levels of pollutants are several hundred times higher indoors than outdoors. And even though outdoor air is regulated, indoor air is essentially unregulated and unmonitored. Another interesting finding is that the primary sources of these pollutants indoors are sources that we normally think of as safe, such as our everyday consumer products, our personal care products, our household items, and our building materials, our furnishings. Now, paradoxically, these major sources of pollutants indoors that affect our health and well-being and productivity, you wouldn't know about what they emit because there is no law that requires that they disclose all of their ingredients or their emissions. Now, while foods and pharmaceuticals have to disclose all of their ingredients, with the exceptions of flavors and fragrances, but that's another story, our everyday consumer products and our building materials do not need to disclose any or all ingredients. And in fact, if you look at a label or a safety data sheet, you may see a couple of ingredients, but that's only a few percentage of all the ingredients. Another important finding from my research is that the term green, organic, all-natural, non-toxic, essential oils, they're used very liberally with these products. But the emissions from so-called green, organic, all-natural products are essentially the same as their regular products. The term has very little regulation or monitoring. Another important finding is that while green buildings may be good for energy efficiency, they don't necessarily guarantee good indoor air quality. So they may be good for energy efficiency, but not necessarily for the humans inside the building. And this is where my research comes in. I've been collaborating with Finlay Homes here in Townsville, with Innovation House, with Rowan Blizzard, with CSIRO, with the University of Melbourne and James Cook University, to develop a sustainable, healthy, energy-efficient tropical house. A house that is climate sensitive, that works with nature, that uses healthy materials, that's tiny, that's efficient, that's transportable, and that's affordable. Given that nearly half the population lives in the tropics, it's really important to design housing that's going to be disaster resilient and that's healthy for the people living in the housing. Thank you very much.